public.
Hold on. Okay, now we are. We're live now.
Yeah,
kind of like.
we are going to open with a public meeting for the, for ordinance number 2020, what's that?
Public hearing.
Public hearing, thank you, for ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance amending section 1 of chapter 1 entitled Rates and Charges of Article 2, entitled Waterworks of titles, entitled Public Works, Transportation and Facilities of the Town Code. Do we have anybody here in person that wishes to speak about this ordinance?
Do you have any of the fire department's past bills taken care of before the ordinance is passed?
Whatever happened before this ordinance is before this ordinance. Whatever happens from the moment this is passed and forward is from this and forward.
So what does the new ordinance read for fire protection?
I read this in our last meeting and said that copies were available through Cindy. So you guys should have picked up copies of those.
And then did we, find the state jurisdiction, as far as, because I know Marcel had reached out to Brandy on what you are doing with meeting cents off of every bill, and where does that money go?
That has nothing to do with our water rate, with our water works, public works, transportation and facility. It has nothing to do with what we're doing right now.
Well, it does in the fact of that you're charging on this ordinance for fire suppression.
I think she's talking about the fees that have.
It's the fire
for
protection.
several years that are changing.
The fire protection
Talking
services.
about the hydrant?
The
Yeah,
hydrant fee.
Oh, it's a hydrant.
That's the $589 per month.
yeah, there's nothing about that that's different. or
Okay, are
changed.
you changing,
The section, the portion of attachment A with this that's actually getting changed is all to do with the bulk water rate.
on meter?
Bulk water rate, yes, the unmetered bulk water rate.
It's not metered. This is our unmetered bulk water rate that comes out of the hydrants.
So
That's the only piece of
what's the
attachment A
proof
that's
of
changing.
anybody's using what water?
That is not about passing this ordinance. Those are questions for afterwards if you'd like to know.
Well,
who's using water.
that is part of it, is
Not,
it specifically says,
You guys
once
are
this
here.
ordinance is passed,
Well, we're here, we just have questions
Oh,
because,
yeah.
I mean, we've been in contact with the state, we've been in contact with a board of directors from the Indiana AWWA. And usually utilities do not charge fire department training or fire suppression. It's an interlocal agreement, and since we're a territory, they said that should be that should be part of our interlocal agreement, that we should not be paying those suppression fees. You have a 30% loss that you can take on water every year, and they said that,
Okay, so the only protection that we're charging is the $589, and that goes towards to run and fix hydrants. That's the
no,
only thing
so
that.
we'll ask that later.
that is
because
charged
question
for
needs to
meter.
be-
That is metered line. Yeah, that is not
So
charged
that's
for
for
meters.
meters. So the unmetered water, the State Board of Accounts wants to know, how do you know how to charge that fee, because it's not metered?
What's the proof of the
What's the
gallon?
proof of charging for unmetered water?
It's metered,
Your water slip.
Unmetered fire hydrant water.
unmetered.
Yes.
That's where you guys have to
That's
turn
your
your
water
slips.
slip. That's in this.
So, but then part of that thing was that if they did not turn the slip in after 24 hours, then you would just charge them for whatever loss you had.
Correct.
So if they have a fire that only took 5,000 gallons of water, they're still saying at the State Board of Accounts, that's just going off of our credibility. Are you going to stand firm on that 5,000 gallons, or are we going to have past arguments that you lost 50,000 gallons?
There's a big
This-
difference between 5 and 50.
This is to fix everything.
Right, Joe?
This will fix everything if you follow what we asked you in the ordinance. After that, we're all good. Past is past, new is new.
Okay, no,
We're
we're
not
just
taken care of.
making sure.
I'm just putting it out there.
You
Okay.
just need to be sure to turn your slips in and that they are as accurate
Please,
to the best of your ability.
that is in this, it is in writing, and it requests the slips. If you don't have the slips, then we have to guess.
We don't
And we
guess.
don't want to.
We
But
don't
that's
guess.
fine.
We
That's
go
it.
according to what came out of the well house. What went into, on Monday night, we normally use X amount. You guys had a fire on Monday night, didn't turn in the slip, and we're 10,000 gallons off. You're gonna get charged for the 10,000 if you don't turn in the slip.
Turn in the slips.
But there's also a state code saying that you can't charge.
No, there isn't, we can't find one.
What is it? I'm sorry.
There,
The state code.
there's
state
no,
code states-
there's, I've looked several times. I asked Marcel to provide me with this, and there isn't
He
one.
still has not.
Have you guys ever decided to talk to other fire departments, other utilities around the state?
North Liberty charges for all
No, I
theirs.
don't.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
We
we
talked to
checked
Vicky.
into it.
I don't.
This is not related to the ordinance.
So let's get the ordinance, that's for the meeting.
All right.
Okay?
So, back to the ordinance. Do we have any other concerns about the ordinance? We need slips turned in within 24 hours.
And both parties sign off.
No, this is a town ordinance.
This is a town
What I'm
ordinance.
saying is, once he turns it in, he needs to sign off.
Correct.
Both of them sign off.
It should be turned into
That-
Cindy.
We
It should be
received
turned
it, and
into
you turned it
Cindy.
in, I agree, I think that's how it should be.
It gets turned into Cindy. She does the water billing. And it needs to be signed, whoever brought it in and whoever received it, and each person gets a copy of it.
100%.
There's no questions asked.
100% Lori.
Time and date, done.
So how do we determine if I'm hooked to a hydrant, doing a house fire here in town, how do we determine how much water we use? Because we're not using tankers to where we can measure the water.
I think that's your business.
No, honestly, that isn't.
No, because it's our
Because
water. So
It's
how
our
do we figure
water,
that, Jeff?
but
Town water would have no metering, but I mean, again, from the state level, you're $5.89, depending on what
That's-
account you're putting
no,
that in.
that's
That's
for hydrant
not-
maintenance.
But that's what we're questioning.
That's not what we're
Where is that putting it? Because it says fire protection. So that's a question that needs to be answered through the attorneys, because we haven't got that answer.
As you says,
Because, I mean, as a town as a town taxpayer that does pay taxes, I do feel that if I'm paying $5.89 a month on my water bill, I should not be paying for water. Because then the other thing that we just.
And that pays to update your hydrant and to keep it running smoothly.
That is what those fees are for
Okay, if you
specifically
can
and
show us
solely.
that, when we get on this part, you can show us that proof of that ordinance. Where you're putting that $5.89, because you do not have a separate fund. When we requested that from the state board of accounts, you are not keeping those monies separate from your water
it
bills.
goes into water maintenance because that's where it comes from.
That's an accounting question. That's not about, there's nothing in this ordinance about what goes into what fund.
So how do I determine?
All our
if I'm
water
working on a
maintenance
house
comes out of the
fire here in
same
town?
fund,
Joe, how do we
regardless of if
determine?
it's hydrants,
Okay, hold on. He wants to know if they pull from a hydrant, a fire hydrant here in town and used it directly out of the hydrant, how do we meter that?
Basically, when we had a meeting, and Cindy can come in and vouch, Jacqueline was there, and we talked with, Jim Higgins for our bond and everything. Basically, because the town residents are paying into this system, they will not be charged for water for a fire. Any inside municipal limits, they are already paying in the system.
Okay.
So since the
So
fire
the
department's
town-
paying for that, can't we use that for training water as well?
You can, but it's metered, so whatever you take out of there,
No,
it's
if
gonna be
they're coming
charged.
from a
If I'm
hydrant.
pulling from a hydrant and I'm using for training water, wouldn't I fall underneath the same rule?
Bulk water.
That
It's not for a house
Why
fire,
would
it's
that
a
fall
training.
under the same rule?
Why
One's
wouldn't?
for a fire, an actual emergency, one's for training.
So you on a fire department?
No, he is our
How
utility.
do you know what you're doing on the fire department if you don't train?
Correct, but you could be training for outside.
No, we don't train for outside, we train for all.
Correct. So it's not the same.
How come we never had to do this on the volunteer basis? Why
Well,
is
we
this-
did, we already.
Because
we
during
were
volunteer
here.
days, we
Yes,
all
I-
came together and we worked together. Now it is, why are you charging us this, why are you charging us that? Right now, though, this is about this amendment.
We're
This
trying to
isn't
fix
about
the issue by
fire,
making an,
Lakeville volunteer. This is about this
Well,
amendment.
there be
meetings
no
ago-
questions.
A couple meetings ago, he said if we was hooked to a hydrant here in town, working a house fire here in town, that homeowner is going to get charged for the fire, but now all of a sudden the rules changed.
That's because we had a meeting with our bond.
So who's not willing to work together, I guess is my question.
Why are we sitting here
The
arguing over
water
a water
hearing is
ordinance?
not the time for this. The hearing is a
There's a
hearing.
water
There's a
ordinance
meeting
changes
afterwards.
for every individual.
You asked us about the bulk water.
Yeah.
We have
That's what we're
gone,
addressing is bulk
we
water
feel as if
only.
we've gone above and beyond
But
to,
only for the fire department, it sounds like.
no, this is for anybody
This
that
applies to
uses a
anybody who
hydrant.
accesses
If
a hydrant.
Betcher's hooks up to a hydrant, this goes for them too.
I'm going to read
If
this.
a drilling company,
The only
Oh, sorry.
difference, the only difference in what's being proposed
I
in this
understand for
hearing
a private
for
company.
a fire department as opposed
For
to
everybody.
anyone else is that the fire department does not have to notify the water department ahead of time in order to be able to access the hydrants.
Well, it's very disheartening that the fire department and the town, who could do wonderful things together, are at each other's.
But right now, we
Whiz,
need
if you
to,
will.
we are not in our
really
town
are.
meeting, we're in the ordinance meeting, so it's not about who likes who and who's getting
Bulk
along.
water sales, bulk sales of water for a minimum of 1,000 gallons, then each 1,000 gallons after that, rounded up to the nearest 1,000. Bulk water rate
So-
supplies to water obtained
Alright,
from
let's just
fire.
stop here. I have your Indiana code that you want, okay? It's pretty bad that I'm not an attorney and I have to give it to you. So Indiana-812-103, if you go down to, my glasses, section 1, it says that you must eliminate fire protection charges billed directly to governmental units, other than charges for the construction cost for a new hydrant installed after December 31st, 1993. So you cannot charge a governmental unit.
Let me look, but I'm pretty sure that falls under like IURC regulations, and the town's water department is removed from the IURC jurisdiction.
Did you receive Marcel's last?
See, this whole conversation should be
But
between
it
Marcel and
shouldn't.
Brandy.
It
Marcel
shouldn't,
and
but we
Brandy.
can't get no responses from Brandy. That's
We
the
can't get
issue.
responses from ourselves either, so that's where we're
Because
coming
the
back.
last contact was Marcel to Brandy to specify these intergovernmental things.
And
in
Brandy
their
asked for the-
territory.
That's between them. It
And
got
the
turned over
answer,
to them.
the answer to him would be, this is bulk water rates for fire and any entities or businesses.
But
This
we're
is not
So
just
how
the
much-
fire
How much are
department.
you charging for like 1,000 gallons?
Could we let Andy through, please?
Another meeting, right?
Did everybody get signed in?
So bulk water sales rates to water obtained from town fire hydrants, which is unmetered. Rate for local government entities and businesses located within town limits fire hydrants is $10.65. Rate for other obtaining water from outside the town limit fire hydrants is $12.68.
You can't do it.
Now, note regarding bulk water sales, all water obtained from town hydrants must be accounted for in the town water audits. As such, all entities and businesses obtaining water from town hydrants must submit a hydrant slip form available at the town hall to the water tower department clerk within 24 hours of using the hydrant, showing the amount of water obtained. Failure to turn in the slip will be deemed consent by the user to the town department, estimating the amount of water obtained by the user from the town's fire hydrant, utilizing the town's fire plant meter, meaning you don't turn in a slip, we use the meter, okay? With the exception of the emergency services, all other hydrant users must contact Lakeville Water Department before using the hydrant.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, if you have a house fire within town limits, if they use 300,000 gallons of water, no one's gonna be billed for that, right? Is that correct? Okay, so it sounds like to me, the best scenario is here is childish, as this is. If there's a house fire here, we don't worry about it. If we do any training or any other fires, we go to South Bend or we go to North Liberty for
You
water.
do have to worry about it because the taxpayers in the town of Lakeville do pay taxes for fire protection.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in town, we can use as much water as we want, but as far as training goes, if we go somewhere else to get our water, then we're saving money by going to the South Bend or Liberty to fill our trucks.
Well,
So
if
we
you
can
believe
train.
that's gonna happen, then that's your business.
That's
Okay.
right, exactly where you need to get your water and that's where you fill up.
We can't do anything about that.
That's too bad.
We have water available.
That's too bad.
This is no different than what we've dealt with for years.
Can I get a copy of the water bond, please?
It wasn't like that during the volunteer
You
days.
will have to,
We never had this
The water
issue when we were Lakeville Inc.
that will have to be through Cindy and or Jacqueline. I don't know if there's a special form to fill out for that, to request the bond information.
It would just be an AMBER request, I don't think we have a form for that.
Okay.
We can keep beating the dead horse or we can fix it, and we're trying
Okay,
to fix
so
it,
going
but I
back-
don't see that happening on your guys' end.
Do we have any further
I
comments?
want to ask this, so you're gonna pass this, did you advertise that like in the papers?
Yes,
yes, we did.
So do you have a 10-day appeal on that?
Randy?
Is there a 10-day appeal on that?
The statute does not provide for that.
Any other questions?
So your ordinance they don't have it to have a 10-day appeal on raising anything on ordinances?
The specific ordinance about rates for the water and wastewater utility for a municipal utility that is not under the jurisdiction of the IURC for approval of rates and charges does not provide for an appeal period.
Any other questions? Do we have anybody online that has any questions? I would like to make a motion to close the public adoption of ordinance 2026-02.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
What time is it?
all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? 6:17 PM.
Frankly, what I have seen and what I have heard, and I'm just gonna put my
Hold on.
personal.
So I was thinking appeal, judicial appeal, or appeal with the IURC. There is a provision that requires owners of property connected to or served by the works can file a written petition objecting to rates and charges if the petition contains the names and addresses of petitioners. The petitioner's tentative public hearing is filed with the municipal legislative bodies within 5 days of adoption.
Now, can that be
And then it
one
goes
homeowner or does it have to
for
be multiple homeowners?
It says owners of property connected to or to be connected to and served by the works.
She said it was what, 5 days?
5 days.
Do you have to have a percentage?
Where is everybody?
It does not say there's a percentage, but it does say that once the municipal clerk has received the petition and it's docketed with the court, that the petitioners have to provide a bond.
Okay, so we did close the meeting. I need to make sure everybody signed in.
Everybody sign in?
And then we will open our regular meeting at 6:19 PM. And we're gonna start with the clerk. That's not true. We're gonna start with, We're gonna start with ordinance number 2026-02. I'd like to ask for a motion to pass ordinance 2026-02. 2026-02.
Make a motion.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? So be it. Next is minutes. Next up, we have the minutes from May 4th, 2026. I would like to ask for a motion to approve those minutes.
One second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So be it.
Sorry.
No. Next up, I have the APVs for the month of June in the amount of $140,803.87. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So be it. Next, we should have DLZ payment number 24. It's not DLZ, it's,
It's, Phoenix, but there's DLZ, pay number. Yeah.
there's some disbursement form number 24 in the amount of $52,500 minus 5% retainage for this application brings the total to $49,875. It has been looked over and agreed by DLZ that the work was done for this amount. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve payment number 24.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills of water power.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? You're the one who signs that one.
And this is progress report number 25, which is DLZ's invoice.
Correct. Next up, we have DLZ progress report number 25. So this payment is actually to DLZ in the amount of $11,020. Again, payment request 25, $11,020 to DLZ. I'd like to ask for a motion to pay this bill.
I'll make a motion. Pay number 25.
All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So be it.
Let's see that one again, real quick.
The DLZ one?
Yeah. I just wanted to write down the full. I can't remember what the total is.
We do have one complaint on the agenda. We do have a citizen who is collecting rainwater in a rain barrel, and somebody is dumping his rain barrel. This is the fourth time it's happened.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him, I haven't talked to Mr. Stanley yet, but he came this afternoon, so I'll talk to him and see if he has a general time
Yeah, without a camera, or it's probably just kids dumping.
or unless it's a neighbor thinking it's harboring mosquitoes, that's the only other thing I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody got it in their email?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll follow up with him tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Nothing.
You
I
too?
have one thing that falls, I suppose, most easily under the clerk stuff related to the website and the Facebook page. I was telling the clerk before the meeting, I had to go to this seminar, I suppose. It was a talk from the Indiana Office of Technology, and they were In fact, a lot more helpful and informative than I expected the talk to be. One of the things that came up was compliance with the ADA in relation to websites and social media sites.
Mhm.
And I wasn't sure where we were at on that as far as keeping up with that on the website. I know at minimum that includes like having to put alt text on all pictures and everything that you post, and making sure that they are all able to be read by a screen reader.
Okay.
So that's not something that is already happening. It's something we need to start working on. Compliance is not required yet. We still have more than a year,
Yeah,
but
I think
it's
it's April,
something to,
April 2027?
I think that sounds about right, yeah.
I think so.
So it's something to start thinking
Yeah.
about while you're in the process. And if you have, access to Facebook page or access to the website and you have time to start going back through stuff to
Okay.
add those things,
Okay.
that would be a good idea.
So just like add captions to different.
Captions for all the pictures so the screen readers can read them and make sure that people, that was the biggest thing. Information about where to call if they can't get information off the website for some reason.
So I think a lot of my stuff already has like text comparable to pictures. I try to anyways.
Okay.
There might be maybe one thing that doesn't have that underneath the picture.
So,
But-
it's just a heads up to try to start making sure you're adding that when you're posting stuff and. Because unfortunately, when you're posting stuff to Facebook, it's not Facebook's job to make sure that
Yeah.
it is accessible.
Perfect.
So,
Okay. Utilities?
Okay, we got the hydrant that was in front of North Park Apartments on the highway, we got that one changed out. So that's an updated hydrant now. We just got we're gonna change out the hydrant down in the alley here, Lorraine's Lane, behind the tilted table. That will be updated here in the next couple of weeks. It's one of the old original hydrants. The filter plant is, as of right now, is done for the first part. We will not do the media until, I think when they get the water mains and stuff down, I believe get the old tower plumbing taken off and everything rerouted there, and then we will start, it's still probably a month away or so before we start that.
Okay.
And tower update, everybody saw the old tower is gone. They're gonna start, I believe David told me this morning, they are going to start working on getting the foundations out tomorrow. Then continue working on getting the old piping, that went to the tower, swapped out and eliminated. And then it's just on to site restoration down there. So hopefully everything will,
They did a very clean job of that. That was amazing, actually.
yes, it was,
It was neat to watch those big, huge pieces come down.
yep, they knew what they were doing, and they were out of there at 3:30. They were packed up and heading out when we were heading out.
Yeah.
And all the tower parts were gone and everything, so.
Cool. No, kudos to them. They cleaned up their mess and everything behind them, so.
That's all I got.
okay, I have a couple items that fall under the utilities for this one from my wonderful Office of Technology talk. Cybersecurity assessments, they're going to be required both for political subdivisions and for both municipally operated and non-municipally operated, like water and wastewater utilities. The towns in general, I believe, was like one every 2 years, but the actual water departments, the water and wastewater facilities have to do them every single year. And compliance on that one is coming up pretty quick. It's this year, I believe.
Okay.
They did helpfully tell us that the state has in fact an agreement with I would call it a consortium that's set up between IU and Purdue, and then there's some private consultancy, I think, that's involved with it, where the Office of Technology will pay for localities that choose to use this service to do their cybersecurity assessments. They said they do them entirely by Zoom and like over a series of about 6 weeks.
Okay.
They said it's a total of like 6 hours entirely from beginning to end. So, I'm gonna give Jacqueline that info, it's called incybertrack.org, if you want to look it up, is that company.
And we did an assessment with the Alliance, and so we're basically on the low end because our, all the SCADA that we have on our filter plant is not remotely done. All it does is alert us if we have a problem, so I can't get into it, I have to come down here and physically do it. So that's what we did when we put the SCADA in, so we wouldn't have that to do all the cybersecurity. But we did that with the Alliance, and we are on the lower side of that, so.
Okay.
And then the other thing was, you guys had talked about at the last meeting that I was at about payment processing for the utilities,
Yeah,
for being able to take online and debit card, credit card payments.
right.
The state apparently has contracts with both Tyler Technologies and Catalyst for local governments to be able to use them as payment processors that integrate with the systems like Keystone. They specifically called out Keystone as one of the ones that it does work with.
Okay.
And they are, if you go through the state, so I would suggest contacting the Office of Technology to find out exactly how to reference that contract. But you go through whatever contract the state has with these two, and the town would not be charged anything for their processing services. It would just be the processing fee that gets charged whenever somebody would use their card, would be how they would get compensated, so.
Okay. So you're looking at all that, Justin?
Yeah, I'm sending an hour into that stuff.
You can have my notes, the only thing on it that's not related to that is what my next meeting is.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Police department?
Had a very good month for May. Had a total of 296 calls for service. Of that, had 17 assists to Central County Police Department. Traffic hazard on Osborne Road, 911 hang up at Potato Creek State Park, shots fired on Hildebrand Street, medical assist Potato Creek State Park, crash on Riley Road, domestic battery Edinburgh, Hoosier Tire and Alarm, crash on Gumwood, welfare check on Patterson Road, medical assist 331, an alarm on Roosevelt Road, death investigation on Oak Road, assault in progress, Lake Trail, shots fired on Cabot Road, a suicide Clearwater Trailer Park, a domestic on Tamarack, and then an alarm on Johnson Road. We had 4 assists to North Liberty Police Department, had a domestic in the Meadows on Meadow Drive, a crash with entrapment on Center Street, 911 hang up on Center Street, and an unwanted person on Rosette Drive. 27 total reports for the month, 1 criminal mischief, 3 crash reports, 1 property damage, 10 theft reports, 2 assisting outside agencies, 1 harassment, 1 juvenile investigation, 1 driving under license, 4 driving while suspended, 1 DUI, and 2 leaving the scene of a property damage crash. Had 7 total arrests. Those were 1 for driving under license, 4 for driving while suspended, 1 leaving the scene of a property damage crash, and 1 DUI. Had 35 tickets total written for the month, and 1 local ordinance violation. Just kind of a follow-up, all the yards that, and businesses that were cited last month have been mowed and cleaned up, and of that, the town did not have to mow any of them, so, which is good, especially one on Lake Trail that is normally a continual week. Every single year. Just kind of a little bit of update, Lakeville Mtg, they'll be participating in our 4th of July parade again this year, and they have a float, as well as a Lakeville band. They're also confirmed this year to participate. We did have several unlocked vehicles that were gone through the Friday nights before the garage sale days. I have been able to obtain some video footage. It was 4 males, younger, that were conducting the break-ins. So just been working with that, following information and leads, and then conducting follow-up for additional footage. Due to those, I did adjust officer hours to actually have third shift coverage in town due to those break-ins. And Officer Fisher's been staying pretty busy in the evenings and has run across quite a few interesting things. But during our actual garage sale days, we did not have any issues whatsoever. And kind of my yard cleanup did go good. We actually had, 3 4-yard dumpsters. Total cost for the dumpsters, $2,175, and that was covered this year again by the EDC. We decided to, after the 2 had already filled pretty quickly after the garage sale days were done on Saturday, we did decide to get 1 additional delivered
Very
on
nice.
Monday.
I'm
So,
glad it worked out good this time.
Worked out really well.
I do have a question for you about the building in downtown
yes.
center. Have you heard anything more from him?
Yes, so I did with building department, so it is currently now listed as an unsafe building, through the building department. I have not heard from him personally, I've just heard from, I've been working with the building department, with Randy to be able to get everything done. The only kind of hitch, it's still not corrected, is with the type when they transferred everything, when Adam Kendall bought the 123 South Michigan, the county transferred title and ownership of the Beeman's building to Marion Assets
They
LLC.
hooked
So,
buildings.
correct. So on my part from the town, I'm still waiting for them to get that corrected because it would go to Marion Assets, which is who is listed under county record and tax record, but is not the actual
Right.
owner. But on the building department side, it has been cited and it was listed, so.
Okay. Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
We wanna get that window taken care of. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
We've waited long enough. Keep pushing.
Anything else?
Nope, that would be all.
Really quick, I want to talk about Art in the Park. We have every Saturday covered for this summer without making any extra calls or pushing it. The town will do this Saturday, we'll do flowers in upcycled containers. So whether somebody has a shoe, an old Tupperware, whatever, we'll supply flowers in the dirt. They supply their container they want to plant a flower in. So anybody that's able to help with that this Saturday would be great. It's from 9 to 10. We have Heartland Church on the 13th, Olive Branch Church on the 20th, Mariel Salon on the 27th. We will not do an Art in the Park on the 4th of July because we will be busy with the parade.
Saturday this year.
Yep.
What time is your parade?
It starts at 10. Lineup's at 9, it starts at 10. There's entry forms right out here I need an entry form filled out for everybody. I would love it if Fire and Ambo were able to be part of our parade. I will also be contacting, I think last year we had La Paz, Walkerton, and North Liberty with
I was
us.
gonna say, good.
Yeah,
Emergency fund.
Posted on.
yeah, we had a lot of phone calls. July 11th is Mariel Salon. I just said Mariel Salon over here. I'm missing somebody. Oh. June 27th is,
I don't have my phone on me.
no, it's here. It's, Braxton Jones has a lawn care business and they are the ones covering that day. Mariel Salon has July 11th. The library has July 18th. Gorka Graphics has July 25th. And then August 1st will be our back to school in the park. There are different people at the United Methodist Church this year that'll be in charge of that. It will not be Judy Hijema as normal.
Oh. Okay,
Judy's no longer on the board of directors there.
okay.
So, I have that information that we'll have to pass around.
Should she be the lady that asked us about the dunk tank?
We usually get the dunk tank.
No, fire department.
Fire department usually gets the dunk tank.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if we have, we'll have to
We'll
see
try
if
to
they
get-
have any meetings planned
Yeah, we'll
for
try to get them.
organizing that, or if they want us to step in. There's been years they've done it on their own, there's been years we've helped.
Well, I only asked that because there, I believe it was her that stopped at the station about a month ago and inquiring about it.
Okay,
And Andy's obviously no longer with us, so we'll have to.
Figure out everything.
okay. Every Monday evening, starting at 5 p.m. from now, the next 4 Mondays, we will be having a meeting at 5 p.m. for the parade committee. Anybody that wants to, can always come and join, always open for new ideas and fun. So that is what I have. Old business, we have follow-up on Grand Street, which Patrick, you've already covered that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We will go to public comments. These are limited to 5 minutes. So do we have public comment? Do we have public comment online?
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's something you'd be willing to do or not, whether it be on the camera or afterwards. But for those that are willing to stay to try to have a we gotta heal this. The town and the fire department can't keep doing this, it's unfair to residents. What I see is it's taking more energy for both these parties to not work with each other versus to work with each other, and it has to stop. Because the only ones who are suffering are everybody outside these doors, and you guys have been stressing over it. I don't know if it's a power struggle, I don't know what it is. He said, she said, there's gotta be conversation, guys. There has to be.
Can I respond to that?
Why couldn't
Let
you?
him finish talking, he's got 5
Yeah,
minutes.
or yeah, when you're done.
You know, I was on the volunteer side for 5 years before I was fortunate enough to be on the paid side on this department, and I enjoy, covering this community. There's great people in this community. And I just don't remember any of this being an issue when we were on the volunteer side of the water. I'm baffled by it. I don't know if it's a transparency on what one side or the other, but I know I spoke with Kelly before. She is willing to talk, move forward, whatever the case may be, but it's gonna take everybody to do it. And at some point, someone's gotta put their guard down and let's move forward, because we can't continue to keep doing this over water. Because everybody out around here is suffering because of you two women together could do great things for this community. But for whatever reason, there's a power struggle. So I'm really hoping that you guys can come together at some point, whether it be tonight with the group here afterwards to try to figure some things out and move forward. Something's gotta happen. That's all. I know I probably shouldn't be speaking, but it's not fair to the community. Honestly, and it's not fair to you. And it's not fair to the people on the fire board either, you know. We've got a new chief. I think there's more transparency there. I don't know, there was some miscommunication for sure on some things, because you thought the fire truck was one thing and another thing I heard, so it's time, it's past time. We gotta stop. I'll quit preaching. I love all of you. We gotta
I'm
move
gonna
forward.
respond to this. We don't have a problem with the fire department.
Well, it was me specifically, so
But
I
it was
know.
still,
But I'm just letting you know, like whatever your internal discussions with each other have created a lot of this that isn't even happening here. We're busy.
that's
We're
why,
busy doing infrastructure and roads and things like that. We're not always cued in on everything with you or talking about you or dealing with all of those things, just so you know. We went ahead and did this so that it is no longer a question about what is and what isn't, because that was what was asked of us. It's not that we do not support you, we support you wholeheartedly, 100%, okay? It has nothing to do with anything. A lot of this is people talking to people gossiping to people keep it going. If you had watched our last one, I basically said, we all need to get along, and it's long enough, no more. There's no reason for it. We're not against anyone. We want to be cohesive. We've had a cohesive relationship with them for the longest time, the township. There happened to be some.
So what happened?
I would have to say that there are a few people that were treated off, okay? And we'll just leave it at that. Doesn't matter at this point, because it's long gone. It's been years at this point. So it had nothing to do with me. I don't have any angst or anything against the fire at all. There's nothing. Kelly and I have had conversations. She knows exactly where I stand. Guys need to stop gossiping. People need to stop feeding it. People need to stop listening to the poison.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more.
And that's not even us. So I'm just putting that out there. No, we have
I'm not saying you in
but
particular.
we have no, on the board itself, the town of Lakeville, the board, none of that's happening. So we gotta you cannot control what the outside people do or say.
Agreed.
We can't control the gossiping. We can't control it. The biggest thing we can do is just like chill out on each other and just do what we need to do to get it done.
Communicate.
Communicate. And communicate in a nice way. And communication, this is the thing, for us, I heard what you said earlier while we were discussing all of these other things. The thing is, what we get is, we feel we are moving forward by doing this, okay? And then we get that it's a shame and guilted because we're not giving what is fully wanted. And there are times that we don't always get everything that we want, right?
Well, I know this.
Like in how it works out, you know, like maybe the free testing water, we get it, okay? But there's also things that we have to be accountable for.
I'm just
That's
trying to
what-
figure out how we came from never having water issues to now we do. That's,
So this is,
where did that?
that's not true, because since I was on the fire board, when I was on the fire territory, all we did was argue with George about water.
I don't remember having to pay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
we made,
Hold on.
No, educate me, please.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
difference was Lakeville Mtg was paying for water.
right,
Which could do so because they were an outside entity. The issue is they're saying now that they're not part of the Indiana regulatory, so they do not follow any state policy.
They don't because of the way they're.
Well, because they're not governed under the Indiana regulatory.
Okay,
So when we sit here and we're reading laws and I'm talking to the Indiana State Board of Accounts, I mean, we know, me and you would know that State Board of Accounts needs specifics. I mean, like, I can't just, as
right.
they walk them out and
That's
say,
correct.
give me $50, I have to
Yeah.
have a receipt for what that $50 is for. So when I'm turning in water slips and they're doing an audit on this, they can't just give or take. It's gotta be a specific,
which is what this will do now, correct?
which this would
This
do.
should do,
yeah.
yeah.
But when they are telling, and that's where, I mean, and it's not that you get attorneys, but they're more well versed in
Well,
all of these
well,
laws.
okay.
It's not that I wanna throw an attorney at it.
We're not gonna spend like an hour on this whole
Well,
conversation,
no,
and
no.
right now, Ron still has like 1 minute
You're
left.
fine, you're fine. No, this is, but we need to have this discussion, so.
But I'm going back to my agenda, we each get 5
Okay.
minutes to speak.
I'm good, thank you.
So
Thank you, Brett, because I was not aware of that. There's a way.
You are more than, anybody is more than welcome to come down to the meeting, and I will show you everything. It used to be when, I think George was just back then.
Sure.
I have meter, or hydrant slips, I would get hydrant slips weekly. Now, and I'll show you my text, ever since we switched over, I'm the one that has to call most of the time, or for a while.
For the fire.
Travis has sent me stuff before, but I would have to constantly ask for hydrant
Well, I
slips.
think that issue is no longer gonna be an issue.
And I hope so.
Yeah, the hydrant slips are a main key important thing that has to be done. And that's why we made sure it was in the ordinance, so it was something that needed to be followed. Because what would happen is, yes, we would, then we wouldn't, or
That's
people
fair
are
enough.
saying they turned it in, other people said, no, they didn't. Now we know this has to be done, turn it into Cindy,
We will make sure she's instructed. that
So-
when
you're gonna
they
turn
come
it
in,
into Cindy.
Both people sign,
We'll
whenever the money comes in, and then both people get a copy.
So
That's fair.
for years, we went through this before, and we did a bulk ordinance before, but it was for the other entity. So now we did not update the entity, we were just going by what we had always done. Now it is updated with your guys' as the fire department is entered in there, so.
So
it's like-
now that the State Board of Accounts is involved, if you
Yeah.
will, this is gonna make it more
Well,
transparent for what
you
you
can
need.
understand, some of the issues that we're discussing on why this ordinance is we were turning in a slip. So we turned in a slip from a fire for Juniper Road. And then there came back,
Okay, we're like way off again.
Okay, hold on.
Let her,
well, I'll
let
talk
her,
about my
I can
fire.
talk.
let her explain.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain here. So when it came back, we were being charged way above what was turned in. So that's kind of where that,
And that was on unmetered water, is that correct?
Yes.
From a
so
hydrant.
they had turned in a slip, and I'm just gonna, I don't even remember the numbers, but let's just say it was 6,000, but then when they billed us, it was 60,000. So it was a huge difference.
Okay, so how,
So they've all been working with
But
that,
they're
and whatever is
working
going
on
on.
it.
And
So
that's why
that's
you come
what's
to this.
leading up to all of
Yes.
this.
okay,
okay?
But
So this
then-
should alleviate some issues.
Because
There we go.
that's the whole goal is to go back to where we were before, where this was not a thing, and then we want it fixed. But fixing doesn't always mean the other entity is happy with the result, and that's unfortunately, like, some of it, we know what we have to do. If you would like to give information to him, like he asked us tonight
I
about,
told him we'll talk
about
after the
Higgins and
meeting.
all that stuff about our water bond, if he wanted to see our water bond.
All right,
So
go back to
apparently he
my
does
5
not believe
minutes.
us,
Can
but
I
that's
ask a
fine.
question? So just the only thing I want to clarify with Brandy then is you do not follow any Indiana codes because you're not part of the Indiana regulatory?
There are some that are covered and there are some that are not, and it's not super clear if you're just looking at it to figure out what counts and what doesn't. A lot of the stuff that's under the chapter about the IURC, unless it like specifically says it applies to literally everyone, probably doesn't apply. If it's a regulation that's promulgated by the IURC, it most certainly doesn't.
But if this isn't part of the Indiana art, if this is just an Indiana code for,
I looked at the statute, you've
no, I'm
got
looking at a different statute.
a different one, but then the one you mentioned earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
So if it does not specify that it's part of the Indiana Regulatory Commission and it is just a, town governing, and it says that fire protection should be eliminated from governmental units, that still does not follow for you? Like it can be billed directly to the consumer? So for instance, I live in a county, I'm an unincorporated area of the town.
Okay,
So I have fire at my house and you put 5,000 gallons on it. You cannot charge fire protection, but you could charge me directly because it was put on my home. Because I'm in the I'm not paying a tax to
So
it.
the fire protection charge that we have is for,
The town cannot
it's only
charge.
for the people who live in town who get a water bill.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this code, which, and I'll throw it to Marcel is saying that if I live within a town, which I have a house here in town, my house on Grand Street burns down, you cannot charge me for it because I'm paying into the taxes and the fire protection of $5.89.
okay.
I do not pay a water bill out in the township where I live because I have a well. So my house out in the township catches on fire and then they come and put 5,000 gallons of water on it. The town should bill me directly, not the government.
We can't do that. We have to bill the person
But
who
if
removes
that's
it from the
what this
hydrant.
code
You guys said Center
says,
Township would bill, same thing.
if that code says that, is that how it has to be done? If you cannot build a governmental
No,
unit,
it's
you do
set-
not have an ordinance put in place with your fire protection service saying that you are charging that. I mean, you have to have an actual interlocal agreement ordinance with the fire protection agency. You cannot charge the governmental unit. We're a governmental unit.
So the new road fire,
I would need to see what you're referencing in order to answer your question, so.
Okay,
Okay, also.
My whole problem here is on my agenda, we each get 5 minutes, and we've been on this for way longer, and I have people
I
online
do
waiting
wanna
also.
answer something
but,
about
but
that
this,
charge
but this
too.
is how we clear the waters of things, so
But-
I understand.
I do wanna answer a
You're not
little
on the agenda.
about
What's
why,
fair is fair.
also why we have that charge also for people who live in town. If we don't have proof, that's also proof that we paid for, fire protection through hydrants, okay? If we don't have that, their insurance goes sky high also. It's one of those things that we integrated that, because if we cannot show proof of a town that we have hydrant service, their insurance goes like that, because there's quote unquote no protection.
So since you're not charging the fire department if there's a fire in town here, does the homeowner then get that water bill, or just, no, because they're already paying for that service? Okay, I understood earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that's how I understood, okay.
So why couldn't you just charge the consumer of where we spray the water, for the water bills? If we turn in a water slip for 10,000 gallons, just charge them.
Cause that'd be like somebody wanting to buy, veterans buying pool water and wanting us to bill where they're taking the pool water.
Okay, but you guys billed Center Township for the.
Because they took the water. We did not bill the homeowner, we billed Center Township Fire because they removed the water.
I have several people online with
Okay.
comments. Do I need to read all those comments out loud? They're not questions, they're comments.
I think you probably should.
Okay, then I'm gonna start with Gregory Garrett, who says, hello there, everyone. Sydney Rhoda, 7215, these people, so profit over people, these people already lose everything, and let's throw another expense. Sydney Rhoda, 7215, under Indiana Code 8-1.5-4-14, water furnished for public purpose and maintaining facilities for fire protection are municipal obligations. The statute contemplates the municipality paying for fire. Sydney Rhoda,
Can you read
7215,
what that was again, just so I have it?
8-1.5
Yeah, I got that part.
-4-14.
Okay.
Okay. Sydney Rhoda, 7215. With no established ordinance and no agreement, it is provided through the taxes. Pamela Urbanski, 3394. In Indiana, a town or water utility cannot bill a fire department for the water used to extinguish a standard house fire.
Not according to our water bond.
Hold on, let me finish reading these. And if we want to know why there are a lot of issues, let's take into account who's making a lot of these comments. So leave the third, that's all I'm gonna say. Pamela Urbanski, 3394. You can charge the homeowner, but not the fire department. Sydney Rhoda, 7215. So you want to charge people more money after they potentially lose everything. Government for the people, right? Pamela Urbanski, 3394. I didn't make the laws, just telling you what the law states. Sydney Rhoda, 7215. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with the ordinance because they think it supersedes state law. Give me just a second here. Sorry.
So they're just arguing in the comments amongst themselves, it sounds like.
Because they think their ordinance supersedes the law, which it doesn't. The whole point.
Well, just remember, we don't profit off of any of it, so
The
that
whole
should
point
be
of
something
checks
that's.
and balances, democracy at its finest. Pamela Urbanski, 3394, you are correct. Sydney Rhoda, 7215, the fire department is there to protect people and be comfort for people who face the worst times of their lives. If the town wants to charge the people, let the water department handle it. Sydney Rhoda, 7215. Fire protection tax is what pays for the water in the event of a house fire. The homeowners pay their water bills. Let's drain these people even more so after a tragedy. Pamela Urbanski, 3394. That is correct. The town has been charging the fire department thousands of dollars for hydrant water. The fire department cannot recover those funds, so it's taking away from the operation fund. Sydney Rhoda, 7215. You want to charge the department, show me the contract of agreement. The only way it would be able to be lawfully enforced. Cindy Rhoda. Where is an agreement with the town and the fire department? Otherwise, the ordinance means nothing. So those are the comments. None of those are questions, but those are the comments that are coming through online right now. Here we go. So,
So that's why I wanted to make it clear of why there's that charge there, so that they understand that we legally have to charge something to help cover whatever happens in town and to maintenance the hydrants that help with fire protection, and it also keeps their homeowners' insurance down. Because if we don't have it, it's not good.
So I can come in tomorrow morning and get.
okay, would you like to start your 5-minute public comment?
Yeah.
This is what we do in area plan, this is what they do in county, this is what you do in your meetings, so don't laugh that I'm trying to hold my table down. Thanks.
I'm not just laughing at you.
So am I able to come in tomorrow morning and get a copy of the water bond?
You can come in and request it. I don't know if Cindy will have it in that moment or if it'll take her a day or two to get that to you. I'm not sure if there's
Where
even,
she'd have to dig it out from to get you a copy of
Yeah.
it.
but you can come in and request that, and
It will be
rightfully,
provided.
we do have to provide it to
Just
you.
fill out a FOIA.
Yeah. Well, make sure you get one if that's what you want.
So I would like to say, I'm not trying to cause any issues. We had a bulk water problem, so we tried to fix it. But as we're trying to fix this, and another issue comes up, and another issue comes up. It's just aggravating. This is not our full-time job. This is what we do part-time, and we try to help this community, and we do try to be one. With comments like what's coming through on the computer right now, that's hard to do. So that's all I'm gonna say. We're doing our best, and we're doing what was asked. So, does
Listen,
anybody else?
We wouldn't do this job if we didn't care about the community.
Well, I think we would all say that.
I think we all would say that.
Endless
And
amounts of
we
hours
are-
in there.
We don't get
Not
paid
against
as
fire
people,
department.
as full-time employees for anything.
Not at all.
So,
We're just also covering our butts also because we have things that we have to follow.
What you women have put up with, and I've seen what she has put up with, and what I have heard is utterly ridiculous.
People don't
I'll keep my
understand
comments
how,
to myself on that whole little thing going on
what it
there.
all comes down to is people don't understand how it works. They
But
don't understand the underneath of
I
how
think-
things work,
I
just
think
like what
this
you guys do.
board and that board gets together, until the day I die, I'll say it, I think you guys can do amazing things, and let the comments be what the comments are. That's my opinion.
Well, I think too, it just helps having clarification. We're not arguing it. We're a government entity, you're a government entity, and how you have to.
you have
be
to run your
accountable.
business and we have to run ours.
We have to run ours, and we just have to be able to justifiably, when we have a water slip and then we're getting a different bill that doesn't match up to it,
But that's not gonna happen.
Well, with this
That's
new
what was
ordinance,
the
we
question.
shouldn't
And
have any
like
more
we said,
issues.
that's in the past. Now we can move forward, and we'll move forward from there, and we'll know that that's what it is. But it would help too, if, when we do hire attorneys, if they will communicate, because they could have fixed this a year ago.
Well, and that's a he said, she said. He's
So,
saying one thing, she's
right.
saying another, that's between
We're
them.
not getting
No,
the,
and I'm not arguing, I'm just saying that's,
we need,
Also, if
Yeah.
something is turned into the attorney, such as a water bill, we cannot sit here and discuss that in a public meeting because it's been turned to the attorney.
Oh,
The
right.
attorney is the one who needs to handle that now.
and that's why. I
Once it's
wanted
been given to them,
further
it's in their
discussion.
hands. So we are no longer going to comment on something that's already been turned over to an attorney. So that's kind of the end of the discussion on a lot of this water stuff.
I do think too, though, one thing, do you have on your agenda to go to fire eventually?
No, fire was on here before when it was a volunteer fire department and the chief would come in and give us reports once a month. Now that that's over,
It
unless
just kind
you
of
can,
got removed when that ended.
so, well,
So what
it
do we
should
gotta
have.
Well, that was on
It was,
last
it
week.
was hit and miss.
So how do we get back on it?
You need to call
Oh, we don't
and
need
be
to.
put
They
on the
have
agenda,
to.
or you can be under public comment.
that was back in the day when
So
they
it's
actually
my
needed
time to come over.
reports.
What's that? I'm
Wasting
sorry.
my time for coming over.
Will you stop? See, this is what it's.
You have 5 minutes to speak. If you
This
would
is
like more
what-
than 5, you are more than welcome to call to be put on the agenda.
Okay, listen,
Every other week.
If I go to your meeting, I'm
I like
not
that
even
you're
allowed to
here.
talk,
Okay,
so
okay,
stop.
Okay,
Stop,
okay,
stop.
that's enough.
Knock it off, guys.
I like that you're here
Thank
I
you for
like that
coming
you
and being
come
part of
and
this.
actually be a part of us. Because that wasn't for a long time.
I'm sorry you feel it was a waste of your time.
We don't think it's a waste. of
Well, I've been
time.
called on every other meeting except for one today.
Because our agendas did change.
Okay, so what it is the old way was that you brought a report. Would you like to bring a report every month for us?
Yeah.
Well,
Kelly's saying no, you're saying I don't know.
I mean,
You're
not
not
well,
required
I mean, the
to,
only
but
thing about it
would
is
be
that it's
helpful.
being double recorded because you're doing your reports at the fire and you do
But-
your reports. It just was different
But
back
it's a
then.
good communication, it's a good
It
start.
is. If you
And
wanna
need to
do
start
it,
somewhere.
if you wanna do it, we can have you back on.
And the
But
fire
you will
chief
be
was-
limited just like our own departments. It's not gonna be an hour-long conversation about fire and
We
water.
don't have a beef with you.
That's fair enough.
It'll be limited
But
to
our
10
fire
minutes, the
chief
same
was
way
too
Joe
busy
is
to do
limited.
it, And he's willing to do it, so I would say,
The same
It
way
is
Joe
very
is
true.
limited, you guys will be limited. And that'll be the end of it. Right now, we've been talking about this for 25 minutes.
but it's a good
Which-
discussion. But-
Not saying it's bad, but it's above and beyond what we were supposed to be doing this evening.
I'm glad we have some discussions.
we gotta communicate, even if it's an hour more than. so
Interim-
We're gonna agree
interim
to disagree on
chief.
some things.
I want you here and I want you to bring a report. Once a month, how's that? Okay? And listen, we don't have a beef with you. We just don't. We're trying to protect our own interests. You guys are trying to protect your own interests. And that's part of it, and all the time, it doesn't always equal out to be exactly what we want. It just isn't. A lot of stuff that went on with you guys is not exactly how we would have done it, but that's the way it is, right?
It wasn't
It's the
ours
way
to
it
do.
is. And you know what? I even posted for you that your ambulance is back on queue, by the way,
Thanks for doing that, April.
because I am ecstatic about that.
It's outside if you wanna see it.
Yes, I'm going out. When we leave, I'm going out.
Unfortunately, we haven't had to use it today, so.
Andy, do you have anything?
No, I think I'm good.
Good job on the water tower stuff.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Does anybody have anything else
I
within this
will
room?
just say, just because we didn't get it in, June 13th, we're doing a food distribution at the fire station.
We will share that.
From 11 to 2. That was my error. I did
Did you
not
send me
come
a
up with
thing?
like, no.
What time do you do those?
11 a.m. to 2.
Recommendation, start an hour early because we have art in the park from 9 to 10, so you may get 9 to 10
The biggest
families.
issue is
Getting
we
Okay.
are trying to get cultivate and we're like there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a-
on schedule.
With as
Do
many
you have a
families that
flyer
are.
or something? Cause I
Well, I
can't
get the
throw it
flyer.
on, I'll throw it on Facebook if you throw it to me. Send it in my phone because I can just do it on the
I'm
phone.
getting a little busy that day.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right, you got my number, right? Okay.
Yeah, we'll share that. Yeah, there
I
was,
mean, it's not that they won't, so this last time, I mean, they did bring the food early and we'll let, I mean,
well, if you can
So
print out a
we do
few
have
extra
time.
flyers and get them to myself, I go to every one of these art in the parks, so that way there's
And maybe, yeah,
representation.
we won't have as
If you-
much
or even if you
food
just
left
wanna-
over, then come and get it.
One, yeah,
we were out.
Yeah, like over the summer when you're doing it.
even if you wanna
just
run
get
me
them
some
out.
flyers or bring a few things up to the park, there's probably gonna be anywhere from 10 to 20 families up there that could probably use it that may not even know.
Yeah, nice.
So we'll be in the park from 9 to 10, which is right next door.
It's on the sign up front too, so they drive by.
Yeah, perfect. Anything else online? Before we close, I just wanna make sure we have.
Just general comments, but. That's it.
If more of the same people are doing it, I don't think we need to continue. I thought it was actually just like comments for the meeting, but they were just kind of talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, it's Sydney Rhoda, 7215, you are absolutely correct, Urbanski, which further greatly increases the potential for loss of life, not only the citizens, but a firefighter. Do they want to?
Yeah, if they're,
So I'm going.
But do I need to read
completely
these?
off
if they're just arguing back
I'm
and forth.
asking
Okay, hold on, there is a question. There is well, and again, it's Sydney Rhoda, they gonna pay fuel for the cost of the parade. That's the only thing with the question.
All right, can I just ask a question on home property? If we're tearing down a garage and we're not putting in a permanent structure garage there, do we need,
Yes.
do I need to bring that
Temporary.
forward?
You would still need an IOP, and then you would still need through the building department, a demolition permit.
Oh,
And
well,
you-
right, I know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And the only thing then the demolition permit will do, number one, to take that off of the tax record.
Okay.
And then if it depends on the other structure, because there are certain setbacks for different, depending on if it's a shed or, and then that can determine on whether you do as well, if it's a movable type shed or carport, or depending on what it is, but yeah.
So that's just something I can reach out to you.
Yeah, depending on what kind of thing it is, it gets to stay for different periods of time, I think.
Yeah.
If you build a deck, make sure it's under 36 inches, you don't have to have the rail.
Oh, no, we're just tearing down. a
Don't put it
garage
over forward,
and
yeah.
doing it. But if, we're just gonna get one of those that's already pre.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it, no, just changing the subject.
No, that's fine. And
I'm always happy to talk.
no animosity over here, it's
No,
business to business. So, well, in that case, I'm gonna ask for a motion to call this meeting closed at 7:09
I will
PM.
definitely make a motion.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are you in favor?
I don't talk about zoning enough otherwise, so we need to talk about zoning more. I talk about zoning all day.
Well, it's still-
I'm Randy's check.
I just, that I know the most about all
And-
the I've been PCA attorney for 8 years.
Is it-
Is that all?